when we think about creating a funnel, we often think, oh, well, it's a relatively easy thing and it's not exactly rocket science. But actually, when you break it down, this is something I do in my live workshops, it's actually a relatively complex situation. And particularly for those of you who are new, or indeed, a lot of businesses have been online for ages and don't collect email. It happens all the time. I know magcasters and scriptcasters who don't collect email. And when you consider that building your list is it's absolutely the must for being, if you call yourself an online business, you've got to be able to collect a list, right? You've got to be able to build that list. Why? Well, when you're looking at designing products, this is the way to let people know about those products. This is the way to let people know about live broadcasts like this one. This is the way to let people know about new content, your tribe members. To have somebody as your tribe member, it's a way of making sure that you can stay in touch and you can communicate. Now, I would say at some point in the future, I think push notifications, text messages for apps, and messaging will take over from email. But let me tell you right now, that's not today, and it's not 12 months. Probably not even 2 years. The history of direct marketing always follows the communication methodology, always follows how you speak to your best friends. Okay, it always follows. But there is a lag. There's always, and a significant lag. And so messaging and text messaging and push notifications and apps and all those sorts of things, they will definitely, replace email at some point, but it's not going to be any time soon. So to communicate, and as something that is that we can utilize to sell and to make money and to communicate, nothing beats email. Just the facts. I wish it were different, but it's not. Email is the way to go. So it's absolutely crucial. So with that, I'm going to use a methodology called user story mapping. And this is something I do in live workshops and often with private clients for all sorts of different topics. But it works particularly well for looking at the opt-in process. And the way we do that is we look at the opt-in process from the user's point of view. So let's go to the iPad Pro here. Okay, so for a start, we're looking at we want to attract our user. So we need to figure out some sort of attention getter, right? So we need an attention getter. We need to figure out, okay, well, somehow they need to be attracted to attention something for our funnel. So we want to figure what is that. So we've got some sort of attention getter, and then from the attention getter, they click into our opt-in page. So we've got, the type of page, an opt-in page. We've all seen them. There'll be some text here, and then there'll be a place for a name and a place for an email. Now, of course, once somebody enters in this name and email, that email address needs to go somewhere, right? Where's it being stored? Where's that information being stored? So we don't know. So we need to figure that out. So where is the email stored? Then we've offered some sort of product in return for their email. People won't give you their email out of their own heart anymore. So we've got our product, something that we're offering in return for the email. Some sort of, we want to have lots of value, provides lots of value, and addresses their biggest pain point. That's what we need to look at. Do that in red because that's crucial. We'll come back to that later on. So we need a way of delivering that. We need to figure that out. We then need to have some sort of way of sending that to them. So let's have a look here at our group. So let's just bring this along. Okay, and move that here. And so this is our user story. Let's rename that. Okay, there we have it. Now, our first line here is our attention getter. So what are the things that we need to think about when it comes to an attention getter? So let's create some post-it notes, and this is how I would typically do it live as well. So we've got to place an attention getter where our tribe will be. So we need to figure out where is our tribe. So we need to figure that out. Now, assuming that I didn't want to add that to Group A. Oh, no, that's good. That's good. Let's keep going. So where's our tribe? What else do we need to do? We need to create some sort of attention-getting device. Is that an ad? Right? We need to create some sort of ad appropriate to that. So we need to create some form of ad. So again, just by using these prompts, we start to figure out, okay, where is this useful? Okay, so we need to also think about what else do we need to think about when it comes to finding the tribe? So where they're at, we need some sort of attention-getting ad. We need to understand pains, gains, and jobs to be done. We absolutely need that as well. Because without understanding the pains, gains, and jobs to be done, how can we create something of value to be able to provide people in return for their email address? They're not going to just give us the email address out of their own excitement. So here, let's bring that down. And so this is our attention getter. So let's rename group attention. So if I was doing this on a live whiteboard, what I would be doing is I would be creating a little rows underneath each. And these are sort of like our action points. So we've somehow got the attention getter. And now people have arrived at the opt-in page. So what do we need to know about the opt-in page, for example? So for a start, where is the opt-in page going to be hosted? So that's an obvious one. What service are we going to use? We don't know, right? I'm assuming you don't know. Where is the opt-in page hosted? Okay, if we figure that out, then we need a headline, because all opt-in pages have a headline. We also need some sort of image for our opt-in page. We need the code to collect the email, which is usually provided by your autoresponder service. So we've got our code to collect email, and then of course I mentioned autoresponder service. Do we have an autoresponder service like a MailChimp or a Weber? So what do we got here? Let's call this autoresponder. So we've got autoresponder, question mark. Please don't be put off by my incredible image skills here, because anybody can do this. I'm just particularly gifted when it comes to creating this. And by the way, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'll actually produce it's an amazing part of this particular app. I'll produce a PDF that you'll be able to download at my blog. That'll be later in the week, just so that you've got that. So we've got to figure out our autoresponder. So we collect our thing. Now, most importantly, we need to come up with some sort of offering. What are we going to offer in return for the email? What are we going to use? What are we going to create? What are we going to give away? Fortunately, we know that what that needs to be is something that addresses the biggest pain point. Right? That's absolutely crucial. And this is, I'm going to do a section after this where I talk about the biggest mistakes people make in this entire process. And right there is one of the absolute keys. So we've got our offer. What else do we need to... So we need to... That's probably enough for the moment. So let's have a look here. So let's bring those down, and then we can drag this up and make those available there. So we basically align each of these sections underneath the appropriate post-it note. So we do that as well. Okay, so we've got our email stored. We know what that's going to be because we've already done that is going to be a function of the autoresponder service. And then we've got to create our product. So that's the next part of this. So let's have a look at our product. Now, when I say product, what I'm talking about is a giveaway, something. And it could be a recording, it could be a PDF, it could be a live webinar that you're doing. It could be anything. But here's what it's got to be. It's got to address the biggest pain point. Okay, whatever your market is, it's got to address the absolute number one biggest pain point of your market, whatever that is. Now, some of you might be thinking here, hang on, Ed, if this opt-in page is going to address the biggest pain point in our market, why would they ever want to buy anything from me? Well, here's the deal. In most cases, in fact, in all cases, if somebody is going to be buying from you, it's that classic physics. It's not physics, but hey, person A, person B, right? If the product, the service, the cost, everything is the same, right? If everything is the same, then guess what? Are you going to go with buy from somebody you've never ever heard of, or somebody that helped you out at some point, got you a report that was highly valuable? By the way, you don't have to, I am in no way should be whatever this giveaway is, in no way should you be pulling your punches in this. This is again what my mentor Gary Halbert taught me. And it's, look at the challenge. Challenge.co, you go there, you download that. People tell me that they've paid $2,000 for courses that don't have as much value as Challenge.co, which you get absolutely for free. And it's true. We designed it because my mentor, Gary Halbert, told me you cannot give away enough stuff. You cannot provide enough value to your market. And that was in the day and age where the paths to market were incredibly restricted. Now, when we're competing for attention amongst everybody else on the planet, we have to be able to, help people and narrow in on exactly the area that they need help in. Because here's the thing. If you help or point somebody in the right direction, you may not solve the pain point for them, but maybe you've got 5 tips that will show them where they need to go to figure out this stuff. Or, you save them time, or you do anything of real, genuine value. That's the only hope you've got of getting somebody's email, because people are hesitant to give email because they're so sick of getting spam and all of these sorts of things, right? Makes sense. So our giveaway, our little item of value, is absolutely crucial. And it should, in my, and say, Ed, but hang on, I'm in a happy market like golf or something like that. People enjoy doing it. What's the pain point? Well, the pain point there is, for example, if you are addressing somebody who's got putting problems and you've got a new technique which could potentially solve a putting problem, then I'm going to hand over my email faster than you can say Father Christmas, because I suffer from this particular putting problem. Even though I enjoy playing golf, I need to improve my putting. So this is why understanding pains, gains, and jobs to be done is so, so important. So you can see from there, let's just go back to my iPad for a second. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 post-it notes, 9 post-it notes of stuff that we need to do when we put together an opt-in funnel. So it's not super simple necessarily at all. I was helping some client with some, what technology are we going to use here? Have we got the autoresponder? All of those sorts of things. Now, I should point out that in the challenge.co, we take you through this entire process. Now, you'll have to do it yourself, and we suggest some tools and all that sort of thing, but we do that, right? It's available there for you. So you will be able to put together this process, and there's a guide and why it's so important. We talk about that in the challenge.